we are still a long way away from seeing justice for a lot of a lot of the human rights violations that have occurred in Syria. There's currently a lot of effort underway for preparing these kinds of cases, but there are certain difficulties with preparing a case against Bashar al-Assad, primarily because there's been a veto of the referral to the International Criminal Court, which means that a lot of these cases have to be taken up through universal jurisdiction in domestic European courts. And the use of universal jurisdiction is not able to get us justice from the high level officials who are responsible for human rights violations in Syria. That's that's more possible because as I said, I mean universal jurisdiction cases should be expanded to be able to get to high level officials, but they're currently at a standard where you're only getting the small fish. And even there's a lot of difficulty with it. That said, there are other regimes for accountability that are currently in place. For example, sanctions regimes, which do get to a lot of the Syrian officials that are involved in human rights violations and violations of international humanitarian law. There's also a newly founded mechanism called the Triple IM, and this was something that the UN General Assembly created in order to compile cases against officials and people involved in the commission of violations within the context of the Syrian conflict. There definitely should be. Part of the core causes of the uprising and then what resulted in the Syrian conflict were human rights abuses by the Syrian government, including mass mass disappearances, large scale detention, and torture. In order for any recovery to happen in Syria, these need to be addressed, and human rights needs to be at the top of the agenda.